Hey guys, this is me, Scratch How To, and today we will be reviewing all the Scratch blocks. That's right, starting with the motion category. And we're only going to do from motion to list. We're not going to do any of these because these are extension ones, and this one's from Scratch add-ons. First, you have the move 10 steps, which moves you 10 steps in any direction. You can also change the number, so it could be like 5, or you can do it so it's 500. Which, yeah, okay. Next, we have the turn 15 degrees, which turns you 15 degrees, or at least the sprite. For example, I could turn the Scratch Cat 15 degrees around. And same thing for this one, except it's just this one is counterclockwise, this one's clockwise. Well, everyone knows how to memorize clockwise. Go to random position. This allows you to go to a different position. You can also do go to mouse pointer. And you can also do stats for different sprites. For example, if I just draw this, and then I put it here, and then here I could just click here, and I could go sprite 2, boom, it goes to its exact position. If I go here, okay. So now, let's keep sprite 2 for now. Okay, so I turn this one into just a circle, so like we can drag each. Okay, now we have to go to X. This sets us to a specific X and Y position. Like if I just set it to 78 of X or an axis 78Y, then it moves us over here. And then I could just do negative 78 and negative 78, which would bring us over here. Okay. Glide 1 seconds. This is one of the blocks I have rarely used. So the glide seconds to random position allows you to glide in this duration to a random position. Like if I do just in 0 seconds, it just teleports it. Basically, if I do 0.1, as you see, there is some kind of gliding. So if I do to mouse pointer, then yeah, you saw that. If I do 6 seconds, they'll glide 6 seconds towards the mouse pointer. Like if I go here, okay. So like if I go here, then I can just do this. It'll glide towards the mouse pointer. Where the mouse pointer last was. Okay. Now we have the point and direction. And you can change the direction just like you can here. So yeah, if I do negative 30, I could do 135. It just points you in a direction. Then I point towards mouse pointer. I can also point towards sprite 2. Okay. Next, change X by. Changes the X position. It's not unlike the move in steps. It doesn't move you forward. It just changes your X. I could do negative 65. I could do 98. All that. Set X2. It's basically like the go to X except this part of it. And same thing for the set Y. And then we have the change Y by. It changes only the Y axis of the cat. So now we reviewed these 4 blocks. Now, if on edge bounce. There we go. So let's say the cat was moving towards the mouse pointer. So I want to take it to mouse pointer if on edge bounce. If we do this, and then it just bounces off the edge. Okay. It's a good when you're trying to make games like Pong. Okay, now set rotation style, left, right. Oh yeah, also note this, like if we're like pointing, let's say over here, and then let's say we allow seconds to mouse pointer, and then if on edge bounce, then as you can see, it turns the cat away from it. It turns the cat 180 degrees. Okay, that's why I said it's good for stuff like Pong. Now time for set rotation style left right. If I set to left right, then it's only going to point left or right. And then all around is basically what it was before. You can also set it here, and then it just goes all around. I can also set to don't rotate, when basically it doesn't rotate at all. The direction changes, but it doesn't rotate at all. Okay. So now X position, Y position, direction. It just shows its X position, Y position, direction. So yeah, Now we have covered the motion category. It's been 5 minutes. Now it's time for the looks. Say hello for 2 seconds. It's basically what it is. Say hello, it lets you say it, but it continues to say it until you put in a say blank. Say hello, it says hello for 2 seconds, and then just stops. Same thing for think. Think, And you can also do think. And then you could, if you do think, then it just does the say until, it thinks until you do that. Okay. Switch costume to costume 2. It basically switches you to any type of costume you want. Next costume brings you to the next costume. This is good for like animations. Switch backdrop to backdrop 1 changes the backdrop, and then next backdrop changes the backdrop. And now I have the size. Change size by 10. It changes the size by any numerical value. Like I could change it by 67, I could change it by -64. Boom. Okay, set size to 100, set your size to any type of numerical value. So if it's set to 78, I can set to that. If it's set to 156, I can set to that. And now let you set back to 100. Okay, change color effect by 25. It changes the color effect. And you can also do stuff like fisheye, world, pixelate, mosaic, and brightness and ghost. Oh, sorry, I meant to pronounce this mosaic. Okay. So the color effect changes the color effect. It can change by any numerical value. So let's do 10 instead. Okay, now we got fisheye, which, yeah, does that. And then we got world, which does that. We got pixelate, which does that. And I'm going to set it back to regular one because that just looks so bad. Okay, now we got mosaic, which is this. And I could just change it by 10 back to original. And then we got brightness, which makes it the brighter. And then ghost, which turns it more invisible. This is good if you don't want to hide. Like, okay, let me just show you. So if we clear graphic effects, that basically removes all the effects for the cat. Okay, shows the sprite. You could do it here. Show hide, and then hides the sprite. But let's say that I wanted. So if we go here, let's see, touching, and then sprite 2, true. If we hide, false. But we want to know that we're touching it, but we still want to be invisible. So what we're going to do is we're going to show. We're going to set ghost effect to 100. Okay, now we're invisible, but can we still touch it? True. Yes. See, that is the benefit of having the ghost effect. You can turn things invisible without basically removing the whole sense category. But we're not in the sense category yet, so let's go to sound. Play sound meow until done. It plays the sound until it is done. Start sound. It just starts the sound. And stop all sound stops all the sound. So if I play this, and I could just stop it. Okay, change pitch effect. It changes the pitch, piano left, right. But yeah, it just changes and this one sets it a clear sound effects. And we got the change volume by. And now you can't even hear it anymore because the volume is 0. The volume's 30 right now, right? Oh, 20. And then, yeah, and this stuff all sounds like I said before. So now they just delete all the blocks. Okay, now let's go to events. This is when green flag clicked. Whatever the green flag is clicked, it will perform what's under it, as you can see. And now, what space key pressed, it will perform what's under it. And you can use any key. Since I have Scratch add-ons, I can use the shift keys and the other keys that you usually will be able to use, like the question mark, or let's say the dash. Yeah. And now, when this sprite is clicked, it will also do the same thing. When it's clicked, it will do what is under there too. Okay, when the backdrop switches to backdrop 1, this is probably the most least used, like ever. Like even the glide's probably more used than it, but basically, if I add like 3 more backdrops here, and I go sprite 1, so when backdrop switches to backdrop 1, then we go to random position. So let's switch backdrop to backdrop 3, and then let's switch it to backdrop 1. And then once it switches to backdrop 1, it will go to random position. As you can see, like I said, it's like the least used. Then we have when loudness is greater than 10, or you could do timer. Okay, let me show you what the loudness and timer is. So loudness is how high your microphone, like how high your voice is right now. So this is what it would be. That's the loudness, and the timer is how long it's been since the green flag is clicked. And as you can see, I can't stop the project because this is detecting when timer is greater than 10. And I could also do loudness. When loudness is greater than 10, it will perform this thing. So it will say hello once the loudness is greater than 10. And then when the timer is greater than 10, it will say hello again. Or I could just put H. Like for example, if I click this, and then once the timer is greater than 10, then it will say H. Next here we have the when I receive message. Wait, look here, and then it says H. Okay, now let's say blank. Okay. So when I receive message, so you can put in messages, like let's say here or Spacey Chris, we want to do something in here. So we broadcast like let's say space key is pressed. Then we go here, and then when I receive, space key is pressed, which means that it's basically kind of like a phone, like when you call someone, and then when they receive it, they will do whatever is under here. Okay, let me show you. So when the space key is pressed, yep, it goes to random position. Because look, when the space key is pressed, it broadcasts it, and then when it receives it, it goes to random position. What this is basically, it waits for it. Like, look, watch. So if I go here and add a wait, maybe 5 seconds, or wait 1 second and a repeat loop. I know. I'm going to get to that part later on, but let's just do this. So watch. If I add the space key is pressed, then it'll do this, and then it'll say hello. Like watch. It waits until this thing or any of the receives have finished doing what they're doing, and then it continues. If I just use the regular broadcast, then watch what it would have. Wait, watch this. If I say blank, then it will have just broadcasted and then went. But if I add a broadcast and wait, then it will wait until these things are all the receives are done, and then it'll do this. Okay, so now that we have that done, now we can go into the control. I've probably used the control. No, the sensing cat. It's either the sensing or control. I can't remember. But I use one of them the most. Okay, let's start with the wait 1 second. It's basically what it does. Wait 1 second. Go to random position. Okay, repeat loop. You can repeat any amount of times there are numerical value. Like if I repeat 5, go to random position. You saw that. Now if I do 60, so basically it repeats 10 times every frame. Oh sorry, no. See, so this will take 2 seconds to complete because Scratch runs at an average of 30 frames a second, and repeat loop is 1 frame. So basically, what I'm saying is that if you repeated 30 for something without any wait blocks, then it would last a second on average. And if I did this would be 2 minutes. 2 seconds, sorry. Okay, now we got the forever loop. Finally. forever go to red position. Wait 1 second. Now I have this. So the forever basically runs whatever's in here forever. And then let's add the when I see space keys pressed, then we hide. And we'll show at the beginning. See, I have just created a game with only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks. So now whenever well, not space key, but how about when this sprite is clicked, then we will do that. And let's remove these saves. Now when I click this, the sprite will hide. But then when I click green flag, it will show. So yeah, the forever will just run forever. And now the if statement. Basically, let's go to sensing. You see these, how they have like pointy stuff? These are the ones that could go in here. You can't use a distance to mouse pointer in here. You can't use answer here. You can't use mouse X. No. You can only use the ones that are pointy. And there's also some in operators here because these are Boolean operators. So because they check whether a condition is true or not. Okay, and like for example, apple contains A, we put that here. And then if the condition it meets is true, like if it's touching the mouse pointer, that'll run what is it here. So it'll broadcast space key is pressed. And then here, when our C space key is pressed, we will hide and will show when the green flag is clicked. See, basic game. Once you have the event blocks, you just need these these 5 categories, sorry, to make any type of game. These are just the basics. Okay, let's watch this. So if touchy mouse pointer, then it hides. And also, if this is touchy mouse, or if this sprite is clicked, then it also hides the sprites. Okay, so now we got the if else. So if touchy mouse pointer, else we go to random position. Okay, the else basically, if this condition is not met, which means if we're not touching mouse pointer, and you can also change the touching to anything. But like if we're not touching mouse pointer, then it'll just do this. But I can put the space key in here. As you see, that is way much more simpler. But I mean, this if you want to run types of you use it you use it at one point. Okay, next got the wait until. So instead of wait 1 second, how about I wait until not mouse down? Okay, what this does is basically if the mouse is not down, then it will do true, else it will just show false if the mouse is down. So now, okay, so it waits until the mouse is down and then goes to the random position. So waits until this condition is true. Like for example, it's true right now. See, when I was holding down the mouse, it was true. So now go to random position. So it waits until dot mouse down and then goes to random position. But if I wait until mouse down, then whenever I hold down the mouse, then it doesn't. And then I actually clicked it. Okay, next we got the repeat until. So it repeats until the condition. So if I put repeat until touching mouse pointer, then it'll just do whatever's in here until this condition is true. Then I can broadcast space key is pressed. Okay, in here, I don't really need this anymore. Okay, so now as you see here, look. So now I've created a basic game. It repeats until we're touching the mouse pointer, and then it goes to random position. If touching mouse pointer, then we go to different random position. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so now as you see, I cannot touch the mouse pointer. Okay, so now we have stop. So if you have did any type of like other programming languages like maybe JavaScript, Python, you will know that there's a return statement. Yeah, this is basically it. So like stop this script stops this script. So like if touchy mouse pointer, they'll just stop the forever loop because the forever loop is the script. So like let's say when green flag clicked, show, and then if we're touching mouse pointer, then we stop the script, and then we could just do the forever loop. Okay, so let's go to mouse pointer. Okay, let's go to mouse pointer. Let's go to mouse pointer, and then see it doesn't go forever because it stopped the script. It stopped it from happening. If I do stop all, it stops the ball's code, like the circle's code too, because the circle could still be running when you stop the script. But if you stop other scripts and sprites, it'll stop stuff like this, and then you could continue doing this. Okay, so now let's go back here. Now I have the cloning. This is how to glitch out Scratch. And yeah, I just glitched it. Oh yeah, yep. Okay. Hey guys, so as you can see, the cloning thing kind of like lagged Scratch. It broke it. So then I had to stop the recording. But yeah, that's why the cloning thing has it saved. So when I start the clone, wait no, let's start with the create clone myself. Obviously, creates a clone exact clone of the sprite with the exact same characteristics. This is a clone. As he doesn't affect the X and Y positions, because this is a separate clone. And then when I start the clone, it'll do anything what's in here. Like, look, if I do this and I create clone myself, it'll do that. But that's only the clones. And then delete this clone, it'll just delete this clone. Once it's touching the mouse pointer, it'll delete the clone. And when you restart the project or you stop it, the clones will also reset. Like for example, if it touches my mouse pointer, then it's going to be gone. Why want? Okay, there you go. Okay, so now we have covered the control. Okay, so now we got the sensing. Touching mouse pointer. You probably already know, but you could do touching anything, like touching edge. You can detect if it's touching the edge. Like let's see here, it's touching the edge, it's not touching the edge, it's touching edge. Touching sprite 2. False. But on some cases, like look, let's stop here. Look, it's touching it. True. I don't know how I stopped it when it was touching it, but anyways, it is true. Touching color. Is it touching the color red? True. Is it touching color? Is it touching the color white? True. Is it touching the color orange? False. Because it doesn't detect if it's touching the colors that's on it. But if the backdrop was the same color, it would detect it. Like, basically, well, your fingers. Actually, no, I don't even know how to think of an example, but yeah. Anyways, color is touching this. I have actually never used this block. It's basically like kind of like this one. But basically, here's what I thought. I thought, like, look, is color white touching color red? True. Wait, what? See, here's what's going on. Color red touching white. False. How is this possible? The red circle is touching white. What if I do is black touching white? True. What? This makes no sense. Well, because look, the red it doesn't have any contact with the white around it, but the black does. It's surrounded with the white. So that's why it shows that. Also, because okay, let me just show you guys the example. So, this is color red touching black. Wait. Oh, see, because it only detects if the colors on it is touching the color, something else color. Like, for example, if I do white, like I did before, like if white is touching red, false. But if the red is on its white, it doesn't detect other people's white. It only detects its white, then true. So, basically, you have to have at least one of the color of the sprite. So, it only works if like you have a, like, look, let me show you. So if I do this, and then I make like maybe this part orange, I mean green, and then wait, let me just change it back to green, and then let me just make it smaller. Okay. Now, is color green touching color black? False. But is color green touching the orange? And let me just move it here. False. Wait, what? Oh, sorry. See, the it has to be switched around. So this one is difficult. Next, distance. The distance to mouse pointer, 344 pixels. As I move around my mouse, it kind of changes. Like if I put in the forever loop, say distance to mouse pointer, and let's remove this repeat until. Let's remove the broadcast. Okay. Now it shows the distance and the maximum, and it also shows the distance away from it over here too. Like if I do this, it shows the distance. And if I do this, it also shows the distance. Like for example, it shows the distance from its X and Y, not from the actual cat. It's also difficult. Next, we have the ask. Ask, what's your name? My name is Scratch How To. And then the answer would be, my name is Scratch How To. And then I could put if name contains, which basically it sees if it includes the thing. If it contains Scratch How To, then it could say you are a special member. Okay, just watch. So if I do ask what's your name, I do Scratch How To underscore coding. Let's go say what? Look, it says you are a special member because the answer contains Scratch How To. This is good for like making like secret passwords and stuff, you know? Well, the contains is the answer is just for like answering questions. Okay. So now let me just remove this stuff, you know. Okay. Back to sensing. Oh my god, there's so many boxes in the sensing category. We got key pressed. You already know. If key space pressed, then we will go to random position. If I post that. Why do I still have this? Okay, so now when key space is pressed, it goes to random position. And as long as you hold it, it'll keep on going at 30 frames a second. If mouse down, go to random position. It only detects if the mouse is down on the stage. Not here, not here, not here. Only stage. Not here, only stage. And then mouse X, mouse Y. What happened? This is the mouse X, this is the mouse Y. So normally I'd be able to see oh yeah. See the mouse I have scratch on so it shows mouse X and mouse Y up here. So yeah, the mouse X is -240, -180 because that's the maximum. So if I say mouse X and I put it on stage, it shows the mouse X, not the Y. And then if I do say mouse Y, it shows mouse Y, but not the X. Okay. Now we got set drag mode. Okay. So if you could do full screen here in the editor or not, you know, just to like, because when you drag something here, it just drags like that, but you don't want that to happen. So if you want to be able to drag, they just set mode to drag, mode to drag. Like, look, I can't drag right now. If I click green flag and reset to that, I could drag because the mode's draggable. Okay, and now if I set to not to draggable, I click green flag, I can't drag anymore. Okay, loudness, already covered that. Timer, already covered that. Reset timer, reset the timer. It's great if you want to create like timers for different levels. this thing block, basically it allows you to get any property of something. Like even if I make like a new variable I for this part only, if I make one called volume or vapol for this part only, then I could just easily get it from here. See, I could get the X position of sprite 2, the Y position, the direction, the costume number, costume name, size, volume, and more. Also, the volume is not like it's just the volume, because the volume for every in like look, see sprite 1 volume. Whenever it has this, then you know that that's only for that sprite only. So that's the volume, and then we have the variables for it. If it only shows the variables for that sprite only. Okay, now that's is at the end. Current year, 2023, and it allows you to grab the current date, year, month. Okay, it's August 21st. It's the 2, which means it's Monday. Hour is 18, which means at 6 p.m. Minute, it is 6:44 p.m. and then a second, it grabs a second. Okay. Day since 2000. This is like the most useless block in the whole thing. Like, what are you even going to use this for? Like, at least this one you could use, and at least the color is touchy you can use for something. This one you literally don't even need it at all. Like that, like this the most useless block. Like you can't even use it for anything. Okay, and then username. It gets the username. That whatever you use this block, then it shows let me show you. If I reload the page, look, it then shows this project can detect who's using it through the username block. Whenever you use it in your Scratch project. Finally, we are doing something. I could go to operators. Oh, finally. This is a long video. We got the plus. We got the minus. Got the multiply. And got the divide. Basically what they are is you can add, you can subtract, you get the idea. So now okay, you got pick random. It picks a random number. 6, 5, 4, 2, 1, 3. Those are all the pick random numbers. So now we got these, the comparisons. We got greater than, less than, and equal to. I hope they find one that's not equal. I hope they find the not equal to. Like, I hope Scratch makes one about not equal to. I mean, you could just do not and then equal to. But, I mean, having not equal to would be better, don't you think? So, yeah, you could compare. So, like, let's say, is 50 greater than 50? False. Is 51 greater than 50? True. Is 49 greater than 50? False. Yeah, and basically the same thing for all of them. And, okay. So is 49 greater than 50? I mean, equal to 50, and is 50 equals 50? False. Is 50 equal? You see, basically, it only replies true if both the ends are actually like true. So it checks if both are untrue, or is different. So it basically checks like, look, if I put 49, it checks if any of them is true, that it'll make exception. So yeah, so even if I had multiple ors here, and I put like maybe 48 or 58, that'll still be true and true because this one's here. Or I can just do this, like if these are true, like if both these ends are true, then it'll make sense. Then it will reply with true. And then we got not. Basically turns the opposite. So is 49, I mean 59 greater than 50? False. See, this is true, but it does the opposite. If I do 49 greater than 50, it does false, but the opposite would be true. So yeah, now we got the join. Join apple banana, apple banana. Okay, if I join Scratch, and then I do how to, I don't know why there's an E, it does Scratch how to. So that's what the join is for. You can join different values. Letter 1 of apple is A. Letter 2 I mean, letter 12 over letter 2 is P, letter 3, P, letter 4, L, letter 5, E. Okay. And then, yeah, you can basically use it for any type of thing. Like if I do space, letter 5 of that is E, letter 3 of that is A. So now we got, and now we have the length of. Length of apple, it does how many characters. It also includes spaces. So this would be 6. But if I did something like an emoji, it would do 8. Because emoji counts as 2 characters in Scratch. So it's not really good if you want it. You know. So now apple contains. Does the apple contain the letter A? Yup, it does. So now does it contain 6? No, it does not. Does it contain E? Yes, it does. Does it contain 2? No, it does not. Okay, now we got the module. How to explain this one? Okay, so 5 divided by 2. Let's put 5 divided by 2 here and 5 module 2 here. So this gives out 2.5. This gives out 1. See, basically it takes the remainder. Like, you could divide it 2 times, and it will transform any type of decimal into your 1, 2, it's basically the remainder. It gives you the remainder. Like, how many times could you fit 5 into 2? I mean, how many times could you fit 2 into 5? 2 times, right? But then there's 1 remaining. So it gives that remainder. It's actually really helpful. Round, basically what it says it is. Round it to the nearest whole number. I haven't actually tested how far it can actually round stuff to. But it rounds it to 2. But anyways, now I got the absolute value. It basically could do absolute value, floor, ceiling, square root, the sin, the cos, the tan, the asin, the a cos, the a tan, the line, I guess, log, and then e to the power of and 10 to the power of. Actually, 10 to the power of, if we do 5, that's, yeah, because, yeah, this is 20, yeah, you get the idea. Finally, now we're in variables. Wait, we don't need to do variable. Okay. So my variable, it sets any variable to a value. And it changes a variable by a value. Like, look, if I do this, I could change it. I could change it by 67. There's no limit to how long it could be. Like, I could just do this, and that'll just 1e plus 75. Yeah, I deserve that. Let me just hide the volume now. Okay. And then show variable, and then hide variable. Basically what they do. Lists. Let me just make a list called A. So let's show the list. Actually, I could just use the show list here. So I could show it, hide it, show it, hide it. Yeah, you get the idea. So now add thing to A. I can add anything to A. So let me add anything. You can add pretty much anything to A. So yeah, you can add anything to A. That's the only thing you can add is anything. So I add something, and then I can add one thing, which I don't know if it is a full name or whatever. I could just add scratch. You get the idea. One thing you should know is that it added to the last value of the list. So that's actually really helpful. I can put delete 1. It deletes an item number. Like, look, I'm going to delete item 12 of A. It deletes item 12. Okay, delete all of A, deletes all. Insert thing at 1 of A. Okay, let me insert happy. I'm going to enter happy at maybe the 5. So then it puts everything else below. See, it inserted there. So it doesn't remove it and then like puts in. This is the replace. So it replaces item, let's say 3 of A with happy. This replaces it, but this one inserts it, so it adds it there. Okay. Now that we got that taken care of, what's item 1 of A? Oh, thing. What's item 3 of A? Basically, like, look, 3, so it would be happy, right? Yep. Item number of thing. This is one of the newest scratch blocks. Basically, if I do item number of happy in A, it'd be 3, because Well, 3 is the first thing it sees because Scratch checks it like this. Okay, let's see. Does it contain happy? No. Okay. Happy? No. Happy? Yes. Okay, let's put that in. It won't detect for 5 and 6 unless I remove it. Boom. 4. Item 4 would be happy. Okay, and then length of A, 9. Didn't we already see a length of? Well, there's a big difference. See, if I click A, it shows it like that, including spaces. So it'd be 53. So that, because this shows the characters. This shows the not how many items are in the list. Okay, don't get them confused. Does A contain thing? Yes. Does it contain H? No. Does it contain happy? Yes. Okay. And then we got show list and hide list. My favorite part of the Scratch is probably the list and my blocks. Basically, you can create a block. So I'm going to name this go to random position. And you can add an input like any numerical like duration, and then add boolean if, and then add another label like and that's it. I keep on pressing the numbers, and then you can do run fast screen refresh. Basically, it runs it really fast before you can even see what's going on. So here, instead of doing that, I could just like go to random position. So I could go to random position, and then if this is true, then I have to repeat until, and then not, it's true. And then I can just go to random position. And then I wait duration. Also, let me remove it because if you use run without screen refresh while wait 1 second, it's just go lag out your game completely. So let me replace this with go to random position, and then let me add the touching mouse pointer, and let me do a duration 1 second. Okay, watch. So how about I actually add this here? Okay, now look, it's going around, but whenever it's touching the mouse pointer, then it just goes on like that. And yeah, that's pretty much all of them. And I think there's 125 blocks in Scratch. I don't know. But anyways, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and please subscribe and share as it helps the channel. Hit that notification bell. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.